Okay, so I want to show you guys something that I find very, very interesting. I've walked through a lot of fire damaged properties, and fire is really interesting, the way homes catch on fire and the way they burn and the way the fire goes through the house. So I'm not a fire expert, and I would defer to a fire department, a fire professional, but I'm just gonna give you my best assessment of this because I think it's interesting, and if you do, keep watching. So the fire obviously started in this location. It looks like there was, the more I think about this, there was probably a gas stove right there that started it, or a small fireplace, a gas fireplace here, but I think this may have been a gas oven. The oven was right there, so I'm not quite sure which side of the wall it started. If there was a small fireplace here, that would make sense because the floor is burned out here, but the fire could have, easily come this way. But it seems like, the wood caught on fire right there. The flooring joists, the floor joists, several of them need to be replaced. You can't walk on that section. It's dangerous. That could collapse. It probably will collapse. I'd fall right through if I went to step in that area. There's no support there. But it's just localized there. And then above, you can see the ceiling was taken out. And I think the fire department probably took that out because of the heavy smoke damage and maybe fire damage on the sheetrock. I'm not sure what sheetrock looks like when it actually catches on fire. I don't think it catches on fire other than the paper, but I'm not sure about that. But it's probably just like this, what we can see here. The kind of damage is what happens. But it was probably a little bit worse right there, or they wanted to remove that. And I don't really see any charred 2x4 framing up there. I think this is a truss house, and anyway, I would bet, I'm not a contractor, but I bet when my contractor comes out here, he's going to say that's structurally sound up there. And maybe there's one piece that kind of looks a little bit smoke damaged, but I don't even think that happened. I think that's just a discoloration in the wood that I'm seeing. It's really hard to see up there. But what I can see with the sheetrock removed is that the wood is not damaged by the fire. And so the fire was probably extinguished when that sheetrock was removed, and I wouldn't be surprised if the fire department took that down just to double check that there was no possibility of the wood in the attic catching on fire and combusting. That's what I'm guessing. So anyway, so this house looks a lot worse than it is. Most of the damage is smoke damage. The structural damage is the floor joists and the wall. And other than that, there's no real structural damage. There's kind of secondary structural damage, like this front door melted, or the heat bent the wood over. So obviously the front door will need to be replaced. I'd replace all the windows in this house while we're at it. A lot of them are shattered. I don't know if the heat did that. It probably did. And so we'll replace all the windows throughout the home. And this will be a like new home. We'll do all the doors, the windows, the interior, of course, and depending on how old the roof is, we may not even need to replace the roof. So there could be a cost savings there. But at this point, it really doesn't matter if you're going to do 99% of the job. Unless the roof is only 3 or 4 years old and it's in perfect condition, I would change it anyway. So anyway, if you have any questions, if anything that I've said in these videos has any interest to you, if you have just general questions about home renovation or particular questions about what our company does in purchasing homes like this, restoring them to full retail value into like new homes, and then reselling them for profit, and you want to participate with us in these kind of projects, give me a call, contact me, schedule an appointment. I'd be glad to talk to you about what we do. So the weird thing about this, it's not weird, it's just, again, another note about how fire travels throughout a home. So the insulation in the garage, a lot of it's just flopped out of where it was. And this could have happened. It just wasn't secured properly when this house was insulated, when this garage ceiling was insulated. So it could have happened. It looks almost brand new, and it's just hanging there. Doesn't seem to have any fire damage. So that's kind of a, just, you know, I don't know what to make of that. It looks fine otherwise. And then the studs in the garage, you can see, are just perfect. There's no smoke damage down here. There's no fire damage down here. The hot water heater looks serviceable. I definitely really would want the plumber to take a very careful look at this to make sure enough heat wasn't generated in the home that it damaged something. But I don't think so. I think this hot water heater may be okay. But anyway, we would change that. It's not a huge expense, but just another note about this fire damaged house. So I could keep going on and on and on. The electrical panel seems fine. I'm going to take a walk back up here to this fire damage section. So obviously where the fire was, right here, and I just noticed something. I don't know why I didn't notice it earlier, but I'll show you something in a minute. So that was caused by the oven. I'm 100% sure now because earlier I didn't even realize there's a fireplace right there, a gas fireplace, which is fine. The fire didn't occur because of a fireplace there, but because of the oven. So the electric wires, obviously these electric wires you can see in the wall. I'm not going to get too close there, but there's electric wires in that wall that definitely need to be replaced. But my assumption, and I think you know, a contractor and electrician can correct me on this, but I would bet that the only wires that need to be replaced in the home is in this kitchen area on that wall. And of course, we would test everything to double check to make sure. So that's, again, another cost savings. We don't have to make the assumption that we have to tear out all the sheetrock and replace all the wiring in this home, because I don't think we need to. And we would just, of course, double check on that so that we know our costs going in, because that would add significant cost to the house if that had to be done, but I don't think that needs to be done.